Greetings everybody, Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is on 5 beautiful Mapex Black Panther Design Lab snare drums. Let's have some fun. Mapex got together with 4 amazing drummers from their artist roster and worked closely together to design these 5 drums. Now, one of the artists, who I'll tell you about in just a second, has 2 of the drums. The other 3 artists are fantastic drummers. We're gonna get into them, their drums, their construction, and why they're all so cool. Now, drummers, we love to collect snare drums. We like to have a lot of snare drums in our arsenal. And if you're that way, then you should check out all of these drums because they're really cool. Let's get started with the drum over here on my left. The first thing I want to mention about these snare drums is that they all come in this nice, oh so smooth and velvety black bag. Looking cool, drums stay nice and taken care of inside this bag. Also, which I think is really cool, every drum comes with a picture of the artist and its drum, like this particular drum is Russ Miller's Versatus drum. It also comes with a tag that tells you everything about the drum, the construction, the design, why it was made, all of those things. It's great information. You don't have to go to the website to learn about the drum. It's right there in front of you and just makes it easy. So instead of memorizing every detail about all of these drums, I'm gonna give my video team here a break in editing because I tell you, we have the best video team in the world. You don't know how many times I have to go through all of these takes, just messing up the details over and over, and then they edit it together to make me look like I just did it right from top to bottom. So I'm gonna give them a break this time around and I'm just gonna read off the card so they don't have to edit. See, I'm a nice guy. I wanna give my video team a break because they work, I'm joking here, I'm not joking. They work so hard, this team here, to make all the great videos that you hang out and watch. All right, so we're gonna start over here, the first drum. This is the Versatus. Now Russ Miller, if you don't know who Russ Miller is, and fantastic session drummer, jazz drummer. He's played with all kinds of artists, played on tons of movies. His CV is probably from the ceiling to the floor long of everything he's done. And he works really closely with Mapex on the design of their drum kits and their snare drums. I mean, he's very much an innovator, Russ Miller is. He was one of the original creators of the old Yamaha sub-kick. I mean, that goes way back. The guy knows what he's talking about and knows how to design drums. His drums are this one right here, the Versatus here, and also the other Versatus over here on my right. We'll get to both of them. Let me put my reading glasses on, because age is taking its toll. All right, this drum is 14 by 6.5, 7-ply maple mahogany, and a killer peach burl burst. Look at how gorgeous that drum shell is. It's absolutely awesome. There are a few things that are the same on all of these snare drums. The bearing edge is one of them. All Mapex Sonic Clear bearing edge, 45 degrees on the top and 35 degrees on the bottom. Cool thing that really just projects the snare drum sound and gives it a nice focus. A cool feature about these tags is that it tells you the snare bed on each drum. This particular drum right here, 2.7 millimeter deep and 5.5 inches wide snare bed. So you know exactly how it's cut on the bottom. Sonic Saver hoops, those are the same on all of the drums with a great black burnished finish. You have these inline locking lugs, Pure Sound snare wires, and this particular drum comes with a Remo Fiberskin Diplomat on the batter side and a Hazy snare side on the bottom head. All of the drums come with the same Trick 3-position throw-off and strainer. This is a really cool piece because 3 snare wire tensions, 1, 2, 3, like loose, medium, and tight. Very easy to adjust the tightness right there. Butt plate side, nice and simple, but it's raised out from the drum shell, which is cool. And also, both of the Versatus drums, the Russ Miller drums, have reinforcement rings just on the top of the shell, just on the batter side. So again, really focuses the sound, makes it nice and precise. Very cool feature. So now with all that info, I'll stop talking. Let's play this drum on its own. Here we go. Medium tension. Loose tension. Big, deep, fat sound. I have it tuned right in the middle. You can go higher, you can go lower. You could deaden the drum up to make it like thuddier if you want. So easy to change the snare wire tension. It is a fat sounding snare drum. A lot of fun to hear. It also sounds really good with other implements. Here's some ProMark hot rods. And brushes. Good stuff. The next snare is the Chris Adler Warbird. What a cool snare. Check out the design etched into the drum shell. Really cool. There's a story behind that as well. Beautiful, lush color, and it's just, this thing just cranks and has a great sound to it. Let me read you the details, shall I? This drum is 12 by 5.5. It's a 6-ply walnut and maple hybrid shell. Very cool. Same Sonic Clear bearing edges, 45 and 35. The snare bed on this drum is 2.3 millimeters deep, 3.5 inches wide. Same Sonic Saver hoops, staggered locking lugs because it's a little bit shallower, they have to stagger the lugs, Pure Sound snare wires, and this drum comes with an Evans Power Center reverse dot head and a 300 snare side head on the bottom. What's really cool in my opinion is that Mapex is using the heads that each drummer uses normally. Chris Adler is an Evans guy. You get Chris's picture with the drum. Just in case you don't know who Chris Adler is, before I play this drum some more, he was in the band Lamb of God, one of the founding members of that band. He was also in the band Megadeth and has played for a ton of other metal bands. He's a fantastic guy and an incredible drummer. So let's get into his drum right now. Here we go. Chris likes a very crisp, high-pitched, cracking sound, so it cuts through distorted guitars. You can hear every stroke. You know, Lamb of God is very frenetic, fast metal music, and the snare drum cuts through everything in music like that. It's really cool, and you know, the smaller size gives it that nice high pitch as well. So I'm gonna play it again here, and I'm also gonna loosen the snare wires as I play so you can hear it with the looser sound. Here we go. Indeed, a very cool sound. Moving on to the next drum now, the other Russ Miller Versatus drum right here on my right. And this thing has some pretty cool features. Check this out. One being the size of the drum, 14 by 4.625. What? Russ really gets into the nitty-gritty details about everything, including the depth of the drum. 5 inches deep, which is more of the normal size, just wasn't cutting it, so he wanted it at 4.625 to get the exact sound he was looking for. 7-ply maple mahogany shell, the same peach burl finish, 45 and 35 sonic clear bearing edges. The snare bed on this drum is 2.7 millimeters deep and 5.5 inches wide. Same sonic saver hoops, staggered locking lugs, pure sound snare wires, and the same Remo Diplomat fiber skin on the top and hazy snare side on the bottom. Let's play this drum, shall we? Russ does a ton of studio work in Los Angeles, and he wanted to design a drum that was going to fit in any studio situation. So this drum is really very versatile. You can tune it up really high. I have it tuned mid-level right now. You can go really high, deep, deaden it with some moon gel or your wallet, anything like that to get a nice big fat thuddy sound. So even though it's a lot shallower than his 6.5 over here, the tuning range is really wide and varied, and it's a lot of fun to play. This drum also sounds equally good with other implements. Here's the hot rods. And the brushes. The next drum I want to talk about is the one I had in the sort of normal snare drum position. This is the Jeff Hamilton Maximus Design Lab snare drum. Jeff Hamilton is a fantastic, longtime jazz drummer, beautiful player. His resume is deep as well. All of these guys have such huge resumes, and he really knows the jazz world well. He's played with lots of great artists. His drum is super versatile, nice big fat deep sound, and perfect for jazz and a lot of other kinds of music as well. Let's get into the details of his drum, shall we? This drum is 14 by 6, 8-ply mahogany shell. It is absolutely gorgeous on the inside. You can really see the lush mahogany color on the inside of this drum shell. SAS1 gloss piano black finish. A piano black is a classy color for any drum. And when you have a black drum like this, it will go with any other color drum kit. So if you're worried about it matching with something else, doesn't matter. Piano black goes with anything. Same sonic clear bearing edges as all the other drums. 2.7 millimeters deep and 5.5 inches wide snare bed. Same sonic saver hoops. Inline locking lugs. This snare is deep enough so the lugs are in line. One difference is the snare wires. Canopus vintage snare wires on this drum rather than the pure sounds. This drum has the Remo Fiberskin Diplomat head on the top and the hazy snare head on the bottom. All that said, it's a lot of fun to play. Here we go. You see, even though Jeff is a jazz drummer by trade, this drum is cracking and loud. You could easily play this drum in any rock and roll setting. Mahogany wood is great for all kinds of styles of music. But since he's a jazz guy, let's play a little bit of jazz drums. Here we go. Last but by no means least in today's demonstration is this drum right here, Craig Blundell's Machine Snare. If you don't know who Craig is, you should. A great, fantastic British drummer, played in a lot of progressive rock settings over the years. He was Steven Wilson's drummer for many years, also played with the ex-Genesis guitar player Steve Hackett, still plays with him today. He was in the band called Frost. He's a great educator. He does a lot of stuff for Roland electronic drums as well. A fantastic drummer. You should definitely check him out. Here's Craig's picture right there. Hi, Craig. His drum is super cool because it has a beautiful look and a nice, precise driving sound. Now, playing progressive rock, you have to go all over the place in your style. Playing a funk groove at one time, a really frenetic odd time groove a second later, really hard driving rock and roll, 4 bars after that. It's some ballad sound, so you need a drum that's versatile, that can take you all over the place in one song if need be, and that's what this drum does. The specs of this drum are 14 by 5.5, great size, 6-ply walnut maple shell. Now, walnut and maple go great together. That hybrid recipe has been around with Mapex for a long time, and you can see how beautiful and lush the color is on the outside. You get the 45 and 30 degree sonic clear bearing edges, the 2.7 millimeters deep and 5.5 inches wide snare bed, the same sonic saver hoops, staggering locking lugs, like I said, pure sound snare wires on this drum. And since Craig is an Aquarian player, you get an Aquarian high energy snare head and a classic clear snare bottom. Also pure sound equalizer series snare wires. Between those snare wires, the shell construction, the bearing edges, the hoops, all that kind of stuff, all adds this nice, precise driving sound that I'm going to play for you right now. Yeah, it's got a biting sound to it, a good crack, very pleasant to the ear, not too loud, and I'm hitting really hard with my Vincent sticks right here, but it's pleasant to the ear, and you could definitely tell that this is a very precise sounding snare drum. I would like to encourage you to check out the text below this video, everybody, because if you don't know who some of these drummers are, click on the links to their website, go search these drummers out, let you know who they are, who they play for, the records they've been on, lots of great stuff to learn and study from all of these wonderful drummers. And there you go, Mapex Black Panther Design Lab snare drums. 2 from Russ Miller, both Versatus styles, one deep, one a little bit shallower. The Chris Adler Warbird, the Jeff Hamilton Maximus, and the Craig Blundell Machine. Killer snare drums, work in all kinds of situations, great for anybody's snare drum collection. If you want any more information about any of these Mapex drums or any other Mapex product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna play some more drums. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Click right here. Right there for more videos just like this one, or start at sweetwater.com for all your music instrument and pro audio needs.